Hello, Bucks fans. This is Real Bucks Talk back again with another video. And yes, today we're going to talk about that game last night. That was a very tough loss against the Philadelphia Eagles, who moved to 3-0 as they defeated the Buccaneers 25-11. For the Buccaneers, they moved to 2-1 and still in a very good position in the NFC South, as pretty much, well, yeah, all the teams in the NFC South lost this weekend. So the Bucks still remain in a good spot, so that's a positive. But last night's game, it was tough from the get go. I mean, I think we all knew going into this game it was going to be an uphill climb. The Eagles just have, they're very strong, where the Buccaneers are, not as strong, to say the least. Offensive line, still working and a work in progress. And going up against that front that the Eagles presented, it was going to be tough. And, some of my keys that I listed out, I think in yesterday's video, it was like who is going to be able to run the football better and who could protect the football as far as being turnover free. Both teams had turnovers in this game. It actually ended up being 2-2, I believe, on the stat sheet. But yeah, the Eagles just had their way, as far as controlling the ball. As you see there, 16 carries for 130 yards by DeAndre Swift. They, as a team, got over 200 yards rushing with 40 rushing attempts. And obviously, you're able to do that because you get the lead. And, the Eagles had the lead for the majority of this game, as the Buccaneers had opportunities to get touchdowns, but just couldn't get any rhythm, couldn't move the ball, had too many wasted opportunities. As you see there, Baker Mayfield, 15 of 25, 146 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Again, not the best game from Baker. It was tough. There was pressure at times. At certain times, he seemed to be holding onto the ball a little bit too long, kind of panicking back there in the pocket at times. But for the most part, I thought he gave, he had some opportunities and other guys let him down. Mike Evans with some key drops, especially one in the end zone. Rashad White in the running game just couldn't get going at all. And I think at times, Dave Canales tried to, run the ball on first down, maybe a little bit too often last night. I think he needed to use the pass to set up the run. I think we've talked about that on this channel before, where you spread teams out, you try to get the run game, running out of 11 personnel, running out of empty formation, shotgun, doing different things where you're not in, condensed formations, whether that be 12 or 13 personnel, because frankly, it's just not going to work against an Eagles front that is, the best against the run for a reason. The Buccaneers came into this game number 2, and obviously after giving up 200 yards on the ground, that's going to go down quite a bit. But, it was a tough game. I thought the Buccaneers, effort wise, they played pretty hard. They gutted it out. They suffered, people were playing injured. Devin White probably could have had a pick six, but that didn't take place because, he was playing with a injured groin. And then, other guys got hurt. Jamel Dean went down in this game. So it was unfortunate. Just bad breaks, to start, that first drive. The Buccaneers had good execution. Mike Evans drops a ball on third down. Probably could have kept the drive going. And, who knows if that, those plays are made. Kate Otten had a drop screen that probably would have led to a first down. It's just some bad breaks, and especially on both sides of the ball, where you had opportunities to either get stops or continue to move the chains, and nothing went the Buccaneers' way early on, and the Eagles took advantage, and then kind of just ran away with it, especially in the second half, where they started just continue to run the football, playing smart, turnover free, and just added on to the score. So it was a good learning experience, I think, for this team. And as Bucks fans, we just have to realize that this team is not in that tier of Philadelphia, who coming off a Super Bowl appearance, and they're strong up front. I mean, Jordan Davis, Josh Sweat, all these guys, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter. I mean, these guys are beast up front, and they pretty much had their way last night. They really controlled the game, and then the offensive line of the Eagles, they pretty much shut down, our front. You look at the tackle leaders here, Levante with 13, Ryan Neal, Antoine Winfield, Christian Izien, all having almost double digit tackles, and not a lot from, your big boys up front. It was tough. Devin White playing injured. So yeah, just a hard fought game. And but with that said, I think you got to be excited still about what lies ahead for this Buccaneers team. They go into a much bigger matchup that we'll get into later in the week against the New Orleans Saints for a chance at first place in the division, a chance to get, 3-1 into the bye. I think that'll be critical. Um, so yeah, I mean, just some tendencies that I'm seeing that I think they're gonna try to improve on is for offensively, they need to start going more in 11 personnel, spread the floor a little bit more, and utilize the passing game to open up the run game. I think that is something that they got to start doing where they can throw on first down, get, 5 to 7 yards and set up second and short where you can run the football that way. I think that's got to be their mindset moving forward, mixing up their run and pass a little bit with more variety on first down. I think Dave has done that. He did it better in the first couple weeks, but I think, this is something that he's got to get back to and utilize pre snap motion, utilize, some different personnel groupings because 12 and 13 personnel just isn't working. You don't have the tight end room, unfortunately, to really lean into that. I think you got to start leaning into these receivers because that's the strength of your team, utilizing Chris Godwin and Mike and some of these other guys and trusting them more. D. Delaney stepped up big, coming off the bench with a nice interception. That was great to see. So, I mean, give credit. I think, the defense played hard. It was just a very tough challenge, especially when your offense couldn't get anything going. And that's why we talk about complementary football. It's very important in this game that you have, all three phases working. And last night, the Buccaneers didn't have any of them working against Philadelphia. They were sharp. They came out sharp and they played, pretty well in winning this game and moved to 3-0 for a reason. But for the Buccaneers, it's not the end of the world. It's just one game. It's just one loss. So now we got to hope this team can get back at it this week, get healthy, and find a way to gut out a win on Sunday against the Saints. But hope you guys enjoyed this video, just kind of recapping the game. Hope you guys liked the video. Hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts of the game. Where do you see the Buccaneers going from here? What kind of improvements are we looking for to make as we head into the game against the New Orleans Saints? So appreciate all the support. And with that said, until the next one.